huge potential for that in the region. That's why we wanted to highlight it and giving more opportunity to new entrepreneurs or the existing entrepreneurs that are coming to this thing, knowing what exactly is going on in this region, what's the opportunities and challenges. So, I actually wrote something with the help of, I need to be honest with you guys, with the help of ChatGPT regarding this sector. So, I stand before you today with the immense excitement and gratitude as we gather here for a momentous occasion that has the potential to transform the landscape of agriculture and food technology in MENA region. Welcome to annual fundii Agritech and Food Tech event, a gathering of innovative minds and forward-thinking leaders, all united by a shared vision to revolutionize the way we produce, distribute, and consume food. In recent years, the MENA region has witnessed remarkable growth and progress in various sectors, and today we turn our focus to a critical aspect that affects each and every of us, food. As our population continues to grow, so does the demand for sustainable, efficient, and nutritious food resources. To meet these challenges head on, we have come together from diverse backgrounds: entrepreneurs, policymakers, researchers, investors, and experts, with a common purpose: to explore the untapped potential of agritech and food tech, specifically in this region. The MENA region is blessed with abundant natural resources, but it also faces unique challenges such as water scarcity, climate change, and limited arable land. However, it is precisely in the face of the challenges that innovation thrives. By harnessing the power of technology and human ingenuity, we have the opportunity to reshape our agriculture practices and enhance food systems for the better. Throughout this event, we will delve into groundbreaking advancements, exchange ideas, foster collaboration that transcends borders. We will learn about cutting-edge technologies like precision agriculture, vertical farming, IoT-based crop monitoring, and AI-driven supply chain management. We will discuss sustainable practices, food security, and the imperative to reduce food waste. Together, we will explore how smart investments and strategic partnership can fuel the growth of startups and enterprises alike, transforming them into game changers of the food industry. As we work in this journey, let us remember that our success lies not just in technological innovation, but also in the inclusivity and accessibility. We must ensure that the benefits of agritech and food tech research reach every corner of society, empowering farmers, supporting rural development, and providing healthier choices to consumers. Before I conclude, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all esteemed speakers, sponsors, panelists, participants who have graced us with their presence today. Your dedication to this cause is inspiring, and it's our collective efforts that will steer us toward a more sustainable and prosperous future. So let us embrace this opportunity to collaborate, to learn, and to chart a course that leads us to a more resilient, efficient, and nutritious food ecosystem in MENA region and beyond. Thank you, and let the event begin. So for panel one, we have Dr. Ray Kingston. Dr. Ray, have a seat, please. Dr. Ray Kingston has over 20 years experience delivering events, managing venues, as well as devising and implementing destination marketing strategies based in UAE. He's responsible for managing and executing a variety of events for Arada, including community activations, sports and leisure events, conferences, exhibitions, and entertainment programs. In addition to this, he leads the Mandot business, which holds over 400 markets across UAE annually. The store with indoor vertical farm, plus e-commerce and HoReCa channels. Dr. Tinson also serves as a non-executive director of a boutique strategy consultancy firm. The firm specializes in events, venue, and tourism development, strategy, working with venue owners and operators, sport organizations, as well as athlete brands, government agencies, and tourism departments. Dr. Timson also brings a recent focus on behavioral science, language, and AI to the tourism marketing sectors. This approach provides clients with evidence-based advice, bringing the gap between advanced technology and traditional marketing strategies. Welcome, Dr. Timson. Have a seat, please. So our next panelist for panel 1 is Mr. Hussein Al-Hussein. Hussein is a highly accomplished expert in growth and strategic partnerships with a remarkable track record of promoting growth, innovation, and transformation across diverse sectors in the Arab world. He has led multiple projects enhancing his ability to introduce and manage the utilization of new technologies and in an educative manner to ensure efficient transformation. As the MENA Regional Manager for Front to Play, a US-based firm of software solutions Agritech, Hussein provides exceptional strategy guidance on innovation and technology to public and private sectors across MENA countries. His passion for empowering local businesses in food and beverage industry to streamline their operation and improve their efficiencies is unparalleled. Hussein has been instrumental in introducing farm-to-plate cutting-edge tech solutions to regional businesses, helping them optimize their supply chain, reduce costs, and achieve outstanding results. Welcome, Hussein. Have a seat, please.
Thank you.
So our next panelist is Bashara. Bashara Adel is the CEO of Gino, a startup in the automotive industry that connects car owners to their cars and provides touristic services. Bashara is a successful leader in building and growing startups. He formerly launched and built Zomato in Lebanon and made it the number of food delivery apps and then joined Tatter's Delivery. Previously, Bashara worked as a regional brand manager for Procter & Gamble. He graduated with honors from the top business school. He is CPO with a Master's in Business Administration with a focus on innovation. Welcome, Bashara. On stage, please. And our last panelist for panel 1 is Chris Wilson. Chris, guys, by the way, is the winner of Fundii at Dubai 2023. Held it on March 16th, right? We had it here, and his company, Romela, won actually the prize, one of the winners of Fundii Day, that is going to compete with other winners in MENA region at the end of the year, the start of the award. Chris has a background in business and technology, holding senior digital solutions for companies including Bloomberg, Thomson Reuters, and Atkins, before building and running successful MENA-based startups in the consumer tech and food and beverage space. Chris holds a Master's in Business Management from the University of St. Andrews, Scotland. Thank you, Chris. In general, we're going to talk about the challenges, opportunities regarding Agritech and food tech in MENA region. So I'm going to ask in different questions, both opportunities and challenges for each of you guys. But feel free to collaborate, if you want to answer, other questions or add something to that. So, if you start with opportunities, which is more exciting, starting with the challenges. What would be the opportunities you see specifically for Agritech, food tech, in MENA in general, if you want to add it, and then if you want to just focus narrow it down to the UAE markets?
Hi, good morning. Thanks for attending. Sorry you have to listen to us. I think one of the biggest opportunities in Agritech is for local companies to develop Agritech locally rather than importing systems. The problem with importing systems is that it creates a challenge when it comes to yield and pricing. So for example, we have within our business we have markets, we have store with an indoor farm, we have an e-commerce business, and we have a food service business. And across all of them, bearing in mind that we support around 380 farms, if we were to upgrade those farms using international Agritech systems, we may as well close our business today because it's unaffordable. The practices that are applied in Hong Kong or Singapore or elsewhere are not applicable to our climate, and it's cost inefficient. So I would like personally to see more businesses in the region develop Agritech products or formulas or systems, and let's try and keep the expertise here.
From my side, I believe there's a big opportunity mainly in healthy food delivery. The new generation is extremely aware about their health, and they are becoming more healthy. They won't have any more time to cook and prepare. And you can see in some countries like the kitchens are becoming optional. So it's depending a lot on delivery, but unfortunately lately the delivery became more of non-healthy food. And this is where the trend is becoming bigger and bigger in healthy foods based on the demand and the big awareness on health.
I was just going to say, I think at a policy and governmental level, it's a very, very good time to be doing things in this space because here it's like Saudi, they have quite aggressive guidelines to improve sustainability and practices. So, for example, they want to reduce food waste by 50% ahead of 2030. Before they were just using the stick, fines increasing how much it costs to go to landfill each time. Whereas I think if you come up with innovative solutions, you can work alongside the government to get companies on board. They're quite supportive. That's been my experience. So had it been a few years ago, it probably would have been a slightly more tricky landscape to navigate, but the government seems to be very supportive and likes to push businesses in the direction of small businesses that are working in that space now, which is great.
So we're coming back to the subject regarding the governments and how the governments in this region, they can support it more local and the expanders come over for establishing their agri-tech and food tech. But for now, in terms of opportunities, saying that you want to add something regarding a lot of things I guess you want to add.
Sure. First, thank you for hosting us here. It's really a truly inspiring venue to discuss the most needed topic when it comes to the technology and this intersection within the agribusiness and the food industry. So, back to our discussion we were having before we started this. So, the MENA region, actually, your question, it can have the proper answer of the opportunities and the challenges falling within the same and under the same umbrella by means of what is to be considered an opportunity in the region can also be the same challenge. And this is one of the uniquenesses of the region. So, if you are to take it from, sorry, apologies. If you are going to take it from a demographic standpoint, for example, the region here is really characterized by the youth and by the young ages that are currently presented. So the median age across the region as a whole is around 26.5, 27 years old. So this in turn is an opportunity and is a certain challenge at certain points. So the other thing are the resources. So within the 21 countries within the MENA region, you can find countries and places where you have the resources that are truly abundant and good. On the other hand, you can find that there are scarce resources in other places. When it comes to another opportunity, is I don't want to trespass the point of governments, but it has to be relating on the governance structures operating within certain MENA regions, falling under the economic diversifications, falling under the political and social strategies. This by itself constitutes a real opportunity in order to introduce certain ideas, innovations, certain aspects under the umbrella of diversification for economies. It's surely an interesting area and an interesting region to be located in now, so times will prove that it will be hoping for prosperous results and low-hanging fruits for new ideas, especially within the tech sphere.
Right. I totally agree with you regarding specifically the governments in this region. They need specific policies to encouraging more specific, some sort of incentives or some sort of initiative for this specific sector, which is important. But I guess, and not all the governments in the region, they have this priority in their annual, short-term, and also long-term strategic plans to consider that. And I guess the best option is we, from the private sector, educate them, push them for what exact policies they need to consider. And one of the reasons for this type of the events we are making, it is sharing the feedbacks with the government and what they can do. Fortunately, the government of UAE, based on my experience, back and forth between like Canada and Dubai, I can see they're really listening to new innovative ideas and implement it in their system. So other governments they can consider as a role model to implement such a thing. All right, guys, let me check something. I guess there's something wrong with our camera. Let me just check one thing. Justin, are you recording, Justin? You're recording? Yes, I'm recording. It's no recording as well, right? No, from your side. From that side. Maybe you're recording, yeah?
As long as it's looking good, I think I'm less on.
So if you want to elaborate on opportunities, what could be like the first 3 opportunities you are going to, as a consultant? Just imagine you're a consultant, which many of you are. Imagine like, a local entrepreneur, they want to launch a startup here in this region, in the agri-food or tech food. What would be the 3 main areas in this sector you're going to suggest? Starting with you.
So I can tell you straight away, if you want to go into the food business here, if you have a sales and marketing consultancy, you make money. One of the reasons the farmers can't sell their product is because they can't market their product. They don't know how to package it, they don't know how to sell it, they have zero expertise, it's not their primary interest. And so part of what we do with ManBats, we are a social initiative, which is how we pitch our company, and it's true. And the driving force behind our brand are the farmers. So what we do is we go to, in fact we work with all the 30,000 farmers in the UAE, so we wear out a lot of blue leather, which is why I look like a lobster. But it's largely because we spend a lot of our time trying to pull the farmers out of their product and looking at how it can be used. And the main challenge in agriculture in this country is conflict of interest. So you have and I won't name and shame, but supermarkets who own farms in other countries, who are bringing product into the country. Those same people that own those supermarkets work inside governments, so and it's not corruption, it's just a conflict of interest. So people have built their businesses outside of here because it's more economically viable to farm in Africa or India or Malaysia or elsewhere. But it's not to say that with the right farming practices that you can't have economical farming in this country. And one of the easiest ways to convince farmers to actually do business is to show them they can make money. So for example, you have a kilo of tomatoes, you sell it to Carrefour for 4 dirhams a kilo, to Spinneys for 5, to ManBat for about 8. So we're killing everyone's arguments in the market. And then that's one channel. The other channel is if you create a chutney, a pickle, or a preservative, that tomato per kilo goes up to around 12 dirhams per kilo. If you can then reduce the packaging size and get into airlines, the value is around 30 dirhams per kilo. And if you get it into the supply chain again as compost or high quality fertilizer, you start to stretch the value of that tomato. So what we're trying to do is educate farmers that there's something beyond growing the produce. And in achieving that, if you have somebody who's a consultant, you could go to all of those farmers and create a marketing-based solution for them, whether it's an app, whether it's an in-person training session or whatever it is. It will transform farming. Oman, our neighbour, is a net export economy, it's an agricultural net export economy. The UAE has more arable land than Oman does. The UAE has a better climate for certain varietals. Since the Abraham Accords was signed and our friends the Israelis have come over here, they could put farming, regardless of the politics behind this, is incredible. You can have pomelos, pineapples, grapes, apples, oranges. There's wheat crops in Sharjah, there's black spirit Fajera. The potential is so big, and it's right here, right now. But if the farmer can't sell his product, he's not going to be incentivized to get involved. So So to mitigate the issues of conflict of interest, I think farmers need help, and anybody who can develop a system that can help us and help the supermarkets and the hotels and so on to market the produce will change everything. It's a very simple change, but it's a really effective one. If you can tell a farmer, I can sell you organic carrot for like 11 dirhams a kilo on Palm Jumeirah, and I have a market there, and you might, if you're lucky, get 2 dirhams a kilo at Carrefour, who's he going to go to? You know, and then once we've achieved that, the next stage is to have an export economy where we start taking UAE products abroad. You know, a lot of what we have here is exportable. I mean, look around you, all of these businesses are international, so if you have a platform that can help them achieve the same thing as other fintech or social companies, then you've achieved one of the most basic ambitions for farms.
It's very interesting that we can see, like a country like UAE has this potential for agriculture, and is growing a lot of products here.
Yeah.
But I guess it wasn't a priority for government before. They just recently, specifically after COVID-19, many countries, they said, all right, in terms of the supply chain, we need to change it rather than just importing. That's what they're emphasizing on this. Question regarding Menmod. So do you have like some sort of the incubator accelerator for the Agritech, or do you have any plan to launch it?
Yeah. So we have sorry guys, I don't mean to like steal the show here. That's the last thing I'll say. So we have an incubator program with farmers, but it's much more, bear in mind a lot of the landowners here are Bedouins, so they're not necessarily educated to a standard where you can actually assume that they would be able to use applications. I have a funny story which I won't tell here because I'll go to jail, but the important thing that we have to do is realize what the farmer's position is, what support they need, and then we club groups of farmers together. So we have people who have MPK farming or shed farming or whatever, so it's by farming type, and then by education standard or level. So what we try to do is find where the weak points are and bring everybody to the same standard. But the pathway there is not straightforward, and we've been doing this for 3.5 years. And we've created a business worth hundreds of millions a year in no time at all. Like, thank God for that. But so what we know is that the potential is there. So we have proof of concept. Can we deliver the orders? No. You know, like 90% of farmers grow the same thing. So they have salads, potatoes, etc. And it's about unhooking people from what is ultimately a sickness and showing them a different way. So now you'll see fruit cultivation in this market, exceptional. You can have any kind of fruit here. And it's a high value product, even higher value when it goes to preservatives and so on. And it's actually easier to sell. It's easier to sell a strawberry and a raspberry and a blueberry than it is to sell a potato, pepper, or etc. But, so you can't just think about menu, you also have to think about potential to change that menu. I'm sorry guys, I'll just shut up now.
Yeah, we are going to discuss it later on, how we can collaborate with Menbot, and I was talking to Hussein after the event, so how all of us, all the panels and everyone who's sit here, we can come up with some sort of solutions that promoting these sectors, not only UAE, every single country in the region, they have potential for these matters, these sectors, and how we can add value to this matter. So let's do it another day. Hussein, do you want to just add?
So back to the question before coming to the opportunities. If I were to advise, if I were just to give an insight on what's happening in the MENA region, I need to just check the verticality of the process which is falling under the global aspect as a whole. Let's take a look on the global landscape and the global sphere of the agri-food business, or the agri-food industry as a whole. So we already know food is very important when it comes to the process of vitality in our lives. This is something that it's taken for granted. But when we are looking into the aspect of food as a whole from a holistic global approach, we can find that the agri-food sector or industry as a whole is the greatest and biggest sole employer in the world. Yet, on the other hand, we find that the majority of its people working within it are in poverty. On another aspect, we can find that when it comes to the wastage issue, on the global sphere, we find that more than 33% of food generated is already going into waste. While on the other hand, we have around 800 million.
That's increased exposure.
Exactly, and we have another plus minus 800 million people undernourished. On the other side, from a sustainable standpoint, we can also find the aspect, I guess, this will be also able to label this, that the agri-food sector as a whole globally is responsible for around 25% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. And the climate change is affecting the industry, cropping and crops by affecting actually around 25% of the crops. So, given these factors as a whole on a global scale, we can understand that the food and the agri-food sector is truly ready for a transformation. Now, coming from the tech sphere, coming from the technology aspect, always looking to be transformative part where we are able just to implement and transition. So all these factors, again, can be used as opportunities on a global scale. Coming to the MENA region as a whole. So the MENA surely is inseparable from what's happening. Plus, it's currently facing certain aspects, be it political, economical overall, it can be social levels, etc., that are really that can be really used as aiding vehicles in order to achieve this needed and desired transformation. So let's start by the resources we have in the MENA region. So taking into consideration the abundant resources, again, back to the point at some places, and discuss resources at other places, but focusing on the abundance of resources, there are many things to focus on when it comes to the agri-food and the agri-businesses and the food sector, taking into consideration that the majority of those sectors fall under the small businesses and small to medium processors. So those people are mostly, those segments are the most need for such a transformation when we are looking from a 360-degree view so that we are able to properly advance the protocols, advance their processes, act on a personalized advisory level which they cannot afford, that technology can be able to adjust. So we have back to the point that Dr. Ray was discussing on the way how we can be moving on under the DPP model. So I don't know, we just discussed that Ray and I, we are in the task force of the Ministry of Climate Change and Environment, and this task force has been recently announced to help with pushing and advancing the open farming processes. One of the biggest advantages in the region, but in specific in the United Arab Emirates, is the EPP models that are already being enacted and put in place. So when we are discussing the partnerships when it comes to the private sector, the public sector, you have enormous potentials, you have huge opportunities to build on. Let's be very frank. We are now moving to this way, we are able to have this under the umbrella and under the support of the government. But the private sector also has many things to offer, and everyone, every stakeholder needs to come with an open-minded mentality to discuss where we can be of added value, where we can be of reason. Another thing of the opportunities, big opportunities that I truly see, again, is the demographic of the region. We are discussing more than 33% of the youth are focused in this region. Now, if we are able to help these youth and help insert and craft some mindset of innovation within the sector itself, this can be a very, very big game changer. I mean, let's be very honest here. When we are discussing the new generations coming, they are literally rejecting the old school and the traditional ways of doing business, especially when it comes to the agri-food sector, which is already governed by the age issue and age gap. This is something we need to take into consideration. Appealing from an innovative perspective and trying to introduce the process within this age calendar and age bracket, this will be very helpful for the advancement and the projection and the future of the industry as a whole.
Very true, because they're building a next generation, and we were talking before the panel that we want to, specifically younger generation, we want to keep them in the region rather than migrating, in different areas because they are the human capital. And I guess, yes, we're right regarding agriculture sector and the food sector. They don't have a specific, that even the knowledge or a vision of what they want to do. Right, so we need to just,
and this is one of the things that
this mindset.
Exactly. In fact, many consider that we are already presenting a solution for traceability via blockchain, or you are only a track and trace module, or you are providing. No. One of the things that the market, especially in the MENA region, dictates on us is the ability to be having the simplified form of introducing technology. Barriers are big and are huge. When it comes to adopting and when it comes to just embracing